We're hiking down the mountain. We were just on the peak. We've already gone down a few hundred feet, probably more. It's very tricky. I mean, these are all rocks, a lot of trees. We had to actually cut through brush like this. Trees, little trees or little bushes like that, like hundreds of them. And it just, it just scratches up your legs, man. But, we've had a successful investigation. I've noticed going down here that there hasn't been any Bigfoot tracks or anything strange. A few impressions, but they're worn and they're old. You can't really measure them or decide what it is. But on the other hand, the views are really stellar as you go into the valley. I mean, these are the Pine Nut Mountains, and there's a lake behind those trees, and it's a world in itself. We're making our way down this canyon, and basically it's going to take us to an intersecting trail, and we could take the trail back to about 3 other trails where we can get to our car or our truck, because we parked a few miles from here. But going down is quicker than going through the canyon and all the way up the peak. But I'd say we've already hiked over 8 miles today. Maybe not, maybe less, maybe 6, but we've hiked pretty far. We've had a lot of falls and spills. I know I've fallen a few times and got myself all cut up, but it's a successful investigation. Job's Peak, as I suspected, has something strange is going on up here. It's very close to the high desert. It's very close to the towns below. You have desert here and you have alpine forest here, and the two meet and something's going on, Back in the day, they used to have these Bigfoot-like creatures that lived in caves in the desert, and the local natives slaughtered them up at Giant's Cave, which we've investigated and did a documentary on. But it just proves that something strange is going on, and that these creatures maybe were not wiped out and they exist. But I've noticed, and I'm going to show you something real quick. We're going to hike to that rock. There is a lot of burnt wood. Burnt logs, burnt wood pieces. You can see the highway below, or the road, and you can see cars. They look like ants on the highway. So we're still pretty high up. Here's another burnt log, and we just been sitting here. It's a grueling task to hike this mountain, any of these mountains, because you can't really use equipment. If you look, he's sitting at an angle. Look how steep that is. Came all the way hundreds and hundreds of feet from the peak, and we've been walking down, and at times it just drops off. So we got to be really careful. But Bigfoot investigations, they entail more than what people think. You just don't go down a hiking trail and say, hey, we're looking for Bigfoot. You have to go off beat. You have to be able to take a chance. You have to be able to rock climb, cliff climb, look for caves, go in caves, take samples, do what you got to do to prove the existence of this creature. And I'm a well-rounded paranormal investigator. I'm a cryptozoologist. I'm a parapsychologist. I have to be experienced with all aspects of the paranormal, ufology as well, and we have to look at things from a skeptic point of view. And when that gets weeded out, we have no other answer, then it becomes a paranormal venue. So we're sitting here. We're still thousands of feet up. Obviously, you can see, you can see down here. Everything looks small, the farms, the houses. And I'm just taking a break because I'm telling you, it's very slippery, and we have to use outdoor knowledge. The sun's going down, and we got to make sure we get down there. We have lights. We're prepared. I could build a fire if I had to, but we still have to be very careful. And rocks are sliding, rocks are moving, and there's fallen trees. This mountain's not as high as Job's Peak, but this mountain still packs a punch because of how it's designed, and it's got a lot of brush, it's got a lot of trees that are down, sharp rocks are up. I didn't film it, but a few hundred feet behind us. we found a bunch of mercury. That stuff's poison. That stuff gets in the water supply, especially when there's lakes and streams and you can't eat the fish. But you know, there's the lake, and that's up near the Washoe Reservation. I seen one time something strange cross the road back by that lake. So, you know, it's a lot of strange myths, a lot of strange legends. I don't know if it drops off to a cliff right here. We have to be careful. When we go down, we have to use common sense. So, you know, it's not easy to walk on this. I don't use hiking boots, but I use special sneakers, or call them whatever you want to call them, you know, tennis shoes, whatever you want to call it, because these have a very good grip for hiking or for, you know, heavy terrain. But even still with those, what's funny is that it doesn't really do the job when it comes to rocks and slippery pine needles. But we're working our way down, and this is a really massive rock formation, so we'll probably end the video here so I can photograph it. But gotta be careful, man. This is not a fun experience. Iceberg Wilderness is over there, stays snow covered most of the year, and rocks are sliding down, and we don't want to be like a rock and slide down either. So anyways, I'll end this video. Very successful investigation. We worked hard today. We put blood, we put sweat, we put tears into what we do, and it's just hard work. That's what it comes down to. You know, you can watch these TV shows, or you can watch us. You can come along with us. I guarantee you, most people that have investigated for me know I work hard. But the other thing they also will say is that some of them have been skeptical, and I've made them believers by taking them to places that they've seen stuff, things they can't explain. Like I took Dave out a few weeks ago here, and we found some tracks, big tracks, and he's kind of skeptical, and he didn't even know what to say about it. He's just like, it's just, you know, it's odd. It doesn't match up to anything I've ever seen. They just don't make sense, blah, blah, blah. You know, so we make people believers, and we take people out, and unfortunately, I mean, we're operating shorthanded. It's generally just me or my son or my girlfriend, and we do all the work, and it deserves credit. And you know, we used to get donations and funding for equipment. We haven't had nothing in years. We fund everything we do, and we put it up on our site, www.paranormalghostsociety.org, and our YouTube, so that you have the opportunity to see what we do. You know, I didn't start doing video recording until the last couple years, but I wish I would have did it 10 years ago, because we've gone into some pretty creepy haunted houses and cemeteries over the years, and some pretty creepy outdoor places. But back then, they didn't really have good cameras, you know. They didn't have a lot of things that they have now, and now we're using HD quality, you know, camera, and we're able to bring you this wonderful area, this overgrown area, and I've felt watched here totally. Even though there's no prints, it's like, you know, it's like something's out there watching us leave the area. You're not going to get prints with these rocks in this terrain. You might get some stool. We might get a sighting on our way down in the evenings here. So, you know, we'll keep you up to date. Anyways, this is Lord Rick, your founder of the Paranormal Ghost Society and lead paranormal investigator. And Jared's having fun throwing some rocks. What else is there to do when you're sitting here and admiring a view? We'll take some photos as we head down, and maybe we can hit the Cherry Tree Trail. That seems like an interesting little trail on the way back. So who knows what we might encounter. We might encounter some tracks down lower on the mountain where a lot of deer are sighted and probably taken as a food source. Anyways, peace. Let's hope we make it back to the truck in one piece and alive, and we'll be updating you soon.